This afternoon we're here with Nelson Ebot Eno, and he is one of our old students. Good afternoon, Nelson.
Good afternoon, Tinas.
Yes, so good to see you again. So Nelson, can you help me? I want to help some of the matriculants make up their mind about studying engineering and getting into the feel of what it entails. Maybe tell us, how did it come that you chose engineering as a field of study?
So it happens that I've always wanted to be able to create stuff, to make things. It's just been out of fun, and engineering is the one way that you can do it, not just for fun, but also professionally. So it felt like a good niche for me to choose the engineering. Although I didn't start with engineering, I started more with science. I did 1 year of a physics and computer science degree, and which wasn't as exciting as I expected. So I thought engineering will be a better challenge, and I decided to take that up. And I wasn't very decided at first on what engineering to study, but fortunately Stellenbosch allows us to have a first year where we have the opportunity to make up our minds as to which engineering we'd like. So I registered initially for chemical engineering, and after the first year I realized electrical engineering was the thing for me. So I went on with that.
Okay, that's very good. And you came from abroad, speaking French and your native language, which I can't remember what it is. What is it again?
Ejagam. That's
that
yeah.
One. And you had to study at something that's traditionally seen as an Afrikaans university. How did that play out?
Well, it wasn't very easy at first, but fortunately in my first 2 years we had bilingual lectures, so there was English and Afrikaans lectures which ran in parallel, so you could attend any of those, and obviously I chose the English ones. But in those first 2 years we also had the opportunity to take up Afrikaans classes, Afrikaans courses, which will help us to catch up on the Afrikaans that awaits us for the third and fourth year. So I took those, and it went really well, and I must say it was good to learn a new language. That's my experience. It was really wonderful learning Afrikaans, and also it was not so much a challenge when it got to the third year and fourth year, which were fully Afrikaans, because I was able to cope through them with the little I'd learned, and also the fact that you could ask your questions in English, you wrote your exams in English, and most of the textbooks were in English, so we're able to get along.
Oh, that's interesting. That has changed, by the way, now. The third and fourth year are English now. So
Wow.
Things have changed. When did you graduate, Nelson?
I graduated on that's 2014. Yes, January 2014. Yes.
So ek kan nou vir jou Afrikaanse vraag ook vra.
Ja, ek kan vir my Afrikaanse vraag vra. Ek sal probeer om te antwoord.
What was the most difficult part of the first 6 months to a year of studying engineering?
Okay. What was the most difficult part? It was just getting to understand where you are and how the system works. I think it was for me the most difficult part of the first year, and the fact that it's quite a leap from what you would do in a high school. The first year is quite a leap in terms of the knowledge transfer that needs to take place. And the most difficult thing for me, like I'll come back to it, is just the system, understanding where you are and how things work, and just adjusting to that. It's a very difficult thing to adjust to. It's a whole change of things, which takes you quite a while.
What do you think was the most important skill or skills that you acquired during your studies that allows you to do your job right now?
Okay, I'll make that simple. It's just the ability to solve problems, and one of the first things we were taught is while we were studying is, if you have a question, find an answer for it yourself before you look for other answers, because your answer might just be the answer that's required for it. And it just brings to light the importance of problem solving and the skill of problem solving, which I think, in my opinion, engineering gives you more than maybe the science field that I experienced. And it's still very useful at the place where I work today, just the engineering approach to problem solving. And another thing is just the ability to learn and unlearn. Like, we were taught so many things, so many theories and so many practical things, but in a nutshell, it's all about being able to grasp new things and being able to apply them to your situation, to whatever application you've got building or whatever project you've got working on.
Yeah, that's very useful. The flip side of that coin is sometimes you go into industry and it's not at all what you expected, and you're obviously not prepared for everything that you find there. What was the thing that surprised you most when you entered into the work environment?
Okay, what surprised me the most when I got into the working environment is that it's quite different. It wasn't all about what I studied.
Indeed.
A lot of other things came into play, like how you relate with your colleagues, how you approach your work. It's not about, well, you know how to do the work. Obviously, you know how to do it, but there's a lot of other things around the human factors to it, which usually we engineers overlook, but they have a very strong role. And that kind of hit me in the face in the first few weeks of work. Like, it's not just about the job you have to do. It's about being able to communicate and being able to relate with all those with whom you're doing a project. Obviously, we were taught those on a small scale, but an industry is something. Yeah. It's a different ball game, and you just need to be ready for that.
Could you just give us a very quick overview of what you did for your final year project?
Yes, my final year project, I had to build a telemetry system, which was going to be used by bee farmers to keep their beehives safe. So I'll just give the title, was a beehive disturbance telemetry system. So we had a lot of farmers reporting vandalism and damage and theft of their beehives. So I had to design a system that would notify the farmers of any intrusion or any intruders in their farms, and that will actually take a picture of the scenario and the event of the intruder and like relay that to their cell phone or to their monitoring system. So I had to build all of that, all the way from the GPS unit to the accelerometer that detects the disturbance to the RF system that transmits that data. I had to build all of that, and yeah, it was quite an exciting project with so many different applications. We used it for the beehive farmers, but you could use it for almost many other telemetry systems, yeah, if you wish.
Okay. Nelson, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us.
It's a pleasure.
Wish you well, and we'll follow your career closely and with a lot of pride and interest. Thank you.
Thank you too, Tinus. Pleasure.